Hello and welcome back to Radio Free Freedonia. I'm Andi, and my other major host tonight is, of course, Lady Styx. Say hi.
Hello.
And then with us we have Todd, line developer for Aetherstream.
Hello, everybody.
And the scary old man in the corner would be Ross.
Hello, everyone.
We'll see if I get fired before the end of the night, right, Ross?
Bar's pretty high.
Okay. See, Ross isn't going to fire me because then he has to do all that work. But I can keep trying. And we have other people with us tonight. Lots of other people tonight. It's a good night. So now, Lady Styx, I gotta tell you something. We have like about 24 hours left on the Leviathan Kickstarter. Did you know that? I lost her.
Sorry, I'm having mouse issues. I
I'm
was going to
sorry.
say, I'm really excited. That's okay. I'm excited because Maddie's here tonight, and I have been arguing with my dear husband about the fact that just because he really likes Maddie's paints and everybody else's paints, it's not a legitimate reason to get every single one that's being made. So
Actually,
he
you
could
are
just
wrong. Your
pick them.
husband is right. You're welcome. I fixed this for you.
I figured you'd
Here.
say
We're going to
that.
take a vote. Okay, everybody who's here. Everybody who says that, yes, that absolutely means you have to buy every single model. Ross?
So say that again. I was distracted by my mom wandering in and out here.
So the question is
again?
liking Maddie's paints in the
Is
models
it reasonable
to buy every single model then?
to buy single? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Todd?
Even the ones Maddie wasn't able to paint.
Perfect, yeah. Todd, you agree with me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, everybody else? Maddie's going to be on my side, I promise.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I've ordered 2 of everything.
Thank you. Mr. Pink?
Oh, Mr. Pink did comment in chat. I'm all twice.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, Todd Z?
Come on, guys.
To talk on a podcast, but I determined by what my wife will let me get.
Todd Z has a smart answer.
The diplomatic answer. The diplomatic answer.
I think we have Earhart. Do you want to answer? You can type your answer. It's okay.
Oh, I've been a lifelong completist, so always all the way for me.
All right. So that means you are absolutely outvoted, Lady Styx. You go tell your husband he can buy 2 of everything. We took a vote. Before she kills me, let's ask some questions. Answer some questions. I know we have one, and we're going to start with right off the bat here. Earhart, you put in a question, and you're here. So would you like to ask yours first?
Thanks. Going back to classic Leviathan Renegade Legion, me and my friends were all really looking forward to this. But a question we had was, in classic Leviathan, there was a rule that you could roll the ship, and I know the miniatures doesn't look like we'll be able to replicate that on the tabletop. But is there a rule similar to that anyway, where we could present an undamaged side or better or more functioning weapons to take a better shot with?
There is not currently a rule for that, but I saw your question and it got me thinking. And probably I'll put something online after we get the PDF out for those that would want to implement such a rule. I thought of how it could work, so.
Okay. Well, we're all in either way, but that was one of the things that we really liked about classic Leviathan was that ability.
It's something you could put up online in a blog post, or as a something you could use at your own table.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like a barrel roll type
Yeah,
of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you
kind of a cool.
basically put the belly up. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Can we call it Earhart's roll?
Yeah, the Earhart roll.
That's fine with me.
I think that would be cool
I would be flattered.
as an addendum.
As an addendum. We'll make sure
I'm
that
taking
Todd's...
notes now.
Oh, man.
That's the main question I had. Thanks, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
We're glad you came. Let's see. I think that the Kickstarter answers this, but one of the questions that I had gotten in was, how long does a game typically last? And how does that compare to a typical Interceptor game?
Our goal is that a typical game, once you're familiar with the rules, is probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending, of course, how many ships and how complex you want to make it. But the typical game, hour and a half to 2 hours, and then use less ships, speed it up, or break out 2 maps and all the big boys, and go at it for a weekend.
Okay, so I have
Even
a
then, I
question.
don't think it's going to last a weekend.
Well, it depends on how
if
many
you have
Leviathans you
4
can afford.
maps and you bought 2 of everything.
Just remember the 10-10-10 rule. So
That is true.
All right, I'm having a dumb moment. I don't know what the 10-10-10 rule is. Lady?
If you roll a 10 on your first attack hit or your first hit, then that re-rolls a 10, and then you re-roll some more 10s, you could blow a ship up in one shot.
Wait, yeah?
Oh, yes, the infamous Gen Con blow up.
If it's... Yeah, but what's statistically the likelihood of you doing that? Well, over an entire weekend, maybe?
Well, we saw it happen in a game once over a course of about 20 games, but I'm sure it could be calculated what the statistics are, but
it's just
I
10
can't do
times 10 times 10.
except for the first one, you get a 9 or a 10 to re-roll, so now you're throwing in a
Okay, so
There's
I
some
have a question.
exclamation points and some math numbers I remember.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Are the games longer if you do the advanced rules versus the basic? Is that a way to shorten it? Would be just to use the basic rules instead of the advanced rules?
I think the hour and a
Yes,
half
absolutely.
to 2 hours would be with the basic rules. Advanced rules would take a little longer, a lot longer.
Well, in the advanced rules, you'd be adding in fighters and other things along those lines. So, definitely you're adding a little more complexity to the game, moving more miniatures and tokens around. So, yeah, adding the advanced rules definitely would add some time, but it gives you a little more tactical and strategic options.
Hey, Maddie, if you had a bunch of, or a couple of 10-10-10s happen
3.
during your playtesting, you want to tell us about one?
The most memorable one of which was pushing around a couple of smaller ships and a couple of size 3 ships, a Mauler and a Firestorm. And what happened? The fire blew up. It took a spinal mount hit from the Mauler, which, those are always good fun.
That damn spinal mount.
And then, yeah, that damn spinal mount. There were a whole bunch of hits inflicted, one of which ended up rolling a 10-10-10. Because remember, every single hit is rolled individually on the table. Every unsaved hit, rather. And so you've got a lot of chances for it to actually happen. I think it'll be more common than you might think. Still not every game. Because anyway, this firestorm explodes, and then I remember, oh, I actually forgot to power up some stuff, and I didn't add in the captain's tactical, and I better just re-roll that. And all of a sudden, the firestorm poofed back into existence because I was silly. That's the most memorable one.
So you resurrected a firestorm.
Yeah.
Well, and you brought up something. You said something about the captain's tactical, and I was thinking about this because the captain's cards have different stats, and those affect your ship stuff. And I was going to ask, I guess, Ross, Todd, and Maddie, which of those do you think is the most important on the captain's card, and why?
Can I go first?
Go
Sure.
ahead.
Since I wasn't involved in actually designing any of these things, I would say that they're all equally important because they all affect different roles and everything is important. There's no dump stats.
Ross?
Some might say the execution system.
I think I heard you
think the
say
lighting
execution, Ross, but not.
Them out. They're less reserved, which is extra power. Okay.
Hold on.
Captain's execution skills. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Captain's execution, because that makes it easier to hit a target. If you can hit them and damage them, they're less likely to be able to attack you. And then, of course, there's the Captain's Reserve, which gives you extra power to, again, power up that weapon system, or more importantly, perhaps that shield after you've taken your shot.
Todd, because he broke up a little bit.
Your turn, Todd.
Go ahead. I was going to ask Todd. Ross listed a second
Pretty good
one,
job.
and I missed what part of what he said. Could you help clarify that? Because I think you're coming in a little bit clearer.
He was talking about execution, which is giving the captain and the crew a better chance to actually hit the target. Of course, doing more damage quickly can doesn't matter if they have extra power if you blow them up.
That's good to. Well, I mean that's true. So, what about for you? Is there one that you think might be your favorite, or the one that you use
Yeah.
more?
Yeah, and like I said, if I had to pick one, it would probably be the captain's reserve, just for that extra bit of power. Some of these ships really want that extra power, so putting a captain with some tricks up their sleeve in there can help that ship be a more useful part of your fleet.
So I'm gonna ask, sort of, possibly, maybe a connected question, but maybe not. So we have 5 different factions, right? Do each of the factions excel at a different tactical style? Or are they all pretty, I don't know, I guess levels that you can be the level without having less differences? Like, for example, do certain factions work better with certain playstyles? Like, are certain factions better
absolutely.
at speed, and can you tell us a bit about that?
Yep. So I can't say much of the other 3 factions we have yet to release because they haven't been designed yet. But our intention is to have different styles. But of the 2, the Terran Commonwealth and Calistonian Empire, the Empire ships are a little more speedy, a little more maneuverable, but they're not quite as strong up front. So they can take some damage and roll with it, but they're not as powerful. The Commonwealth ships are basically designed completely front loaded tanks, get in there, blow things up, and hope that they can't get a shot back at you.
So with
That's cool.
Well, see, I always like it when there's different things so that it can attract different play styles. So it sounds like
Absolutely.
the ones are tanks and the others are more like I'm gonna be fast and sneak up on you.
Yeah, exactly. And and you see like people, some people do like a little fast maneuverable stuff, and others like, oh, just come to me and I'll blow you up.
Okay, so which are you?
Um, ooh, that's a tough one. I like them both. I probably lean more towards the speedy, fast, maneuverable guys in a play style.
All right, Ross. What about you?
Well, since I've been accused of favoring the Bolt above all other fighters, um, I certainly enjoy shooting hardest first. So I will probably land in the Commonwealth camp.
Which is yellow, which would be the
And
bulky
you know,
tank, spinal mount.
and
Jerks.
this spinal mounts on spiculums are wonderful, wonderful weapon systems, as you well know.
Wonderful is not the term I think I used, but okay, yeah. How about you, Maddie?
I like them both. I like them both.
I like purple.
Yeah. But why did you resurrect the Firestorm?
Because I screwed up.
But you forgot and you made it. But then you went backsies. So I would say you're probably an Empire boy at heart then.
Oh, definitely. I mean, from Interceptor, I'm absolutely devout to the Imperatrix.
See, I feel like I've missed out on a story. What is this with firestorms?
When we were talking about the 10-10-10 roll,
Yeah.
Maddie had one with the game. But then he said,
with
I forgot to do his tactical do-over.
Got it.
And then he
Firestorm's back on the
resurrected.
board.
And it's back on the board. Okay, gotcha. Haha. I'm awake, sort of. Maybe a little.
So, is there going to be a faction that his entire job is just to like swarm and annoy? Because I like playing those kind of things if I'm doing fig battles.
Oh, that's
I
kind
don't
of a
need to
good
do
idea.
tons of damage. If I can do like a half a point 50,000 times, I'm still going to get you.
If there would be one, it'd probably be the Allied worlds, because that seems like that would be up their alley, since they're a little more technology guys, probably smaller ships, smaller crews, but try to swarm their enemies and overwhelm them with quickly produced stuff rather than big giant leviathans.
I was going to say, like, the
Yeah, I like
Leviathan
that.
itself can hold, it was a lot of squadrons. I don't remember the number. Todd, do you remember the number?
2 wings, so 8 squadrons.
So 8 squadrons. I mean, that's not quite a swarm, but that's a lot of little.
It's a lot of fighters.
Yeah. So, do you think the Allied world might have more of them, or just be
Maybe
more
not
apt
more
to
fighters,
use?
but probably smaller ships that are effective in wolfpack kind of tactics.
Yeah, it sounds
Imagine,
like.
imagine Andy, a bunch of small ships with comments on them.
None of that today.
Okay, but wait, Andy, you have to see what would be really cool is you have like a 1 in 10 chance of blowing up. So kind of like the
Yes,
kamikaze
but that.
group.
Yes, and I get that, but I'm also mathematically inclined enough to inform you that 1 in 10 is really 9 opposed.
If 9 hit, then I still win. I could give up one guy for 9 winning. Especially if I
So
have like
if
200 or
one,
100 on the
if
field.
you need a 10 out of 10, that's only 1 out of 10. That's a 10%. You have a 90% failure basically to that 10%. That's, yeah, that's,
I don't know.
this is kind of like, and then you add in those darn exclamation points for doing the, yeah.
Andy, it's
Math
your
stuff.
job to maths, not my job.
So what I'm hearing, Andy, is that you want to play the fleet that is like pure defense.
So, okay, we both know that I'm not really a war game person. So, yeah, I would probably sit there and be like, I want an entire fleet of defense with, like ways to help one person or the other person. and then help them blow up somebody else. Like, it's why I don't play war games. That's why I'm taking all the ships and taking them and playing in Traveler. Okay? Like, that's what I'm doing. There's a reason that I'm not in charge. Todd Z would like to know if there will be a chance to adjust pledges. That's a good question. For extra after the close of the Kickstarter. Ross, you were telling me something like now they have late pledges, but I don't know that that's the same as adjusting the pledge.
So campaign ends tomorrow afternoon, evening. Kickstarter is going to suck the money out of your pockets. After that, we will send out surveys when we have another shipping day to give you a chance to tell us what you want and to add on to your current pledge. Kickstarter also has what are now late pledges, so that if you are listening at some point in the near future and you didn't make a pledge before the campaign ended, Kickstarter now allows you to make late pledges. Late pledges don't get any of the campaign price reductions or anything like that, but you can still participate. So your best bet is to tell us what you want in the survey, and we will fulfill accordingly.
So, quick answer, Todd Z, is yes. When the surveys go out, you can add to your pledge. That is a good question. Let's see. Oh, I know you're going to love this one, Todd. Tell us about lore and lore building, because I've seen a lot of questions go by on our Discord, especially about people wanting to know more about the lore. So what are your plans for lore building within the world?
Ooh, that is a good question. We've got some, in the Interceptor book and in a little bit more in the campaign guide for Interceptor. And, this core book probably won't have a whole lot. I don't know if we're going to get in with our page count, but we'll try to get at least some more stuff online. But in the future, we definitely plan on expanding the lore and, trying to find where the products fit in that would allow us to really expand on that and get some more, why are these people fighting out there and all that kind of thing.
We are also working with a couple of freelance writers who hope to provide us with some short stories and other fiction that will again help explain who these captains and pilots are and why they're fighting.
Oh, I like that idea. Ladies,
Okay, I didn't know we were going to say that, so I was leave that for
Oh, well, I figured that's why I would say it.
I love that idea.
I thought you would, because even though for you and I, perhaps, especially me, I know I'm not much of a mini wargamer, but I do like reading short stories. So, and I like sci-fi, so I'm totally on this. Let's see.
It would be too. Like white on rice.
See, I figured you would. Where was I? Okay. So plans for lore. So we're gonna be writing some stuff. It sounds like. Oh, Todd, best question ever. I know how much you love it. When do we get asteroids?
that would probably be the campaign book where we're going to expand on the mission, the type of scenario, terrain, all that kind of stuff. So
facilities.
Yep.
Facility sounds like space. Oh my goodness, I forgot the word. The big space stations.
Andy, that's not a moon. That's a space station.
That's it. It's not a moon. It's a space station. Can we have a moon that's not a moon? It's a space station. Todd.
Depends on how much we change it so we don't get sued.
Well, you just label it not a moon. I mean, Okay. What Todd Z, one of the things that got me into a certain other thing were the
Miltech.
Mike. Oh, I know what it was. I was.
Ah, sorry.
It's okay. Mike Stackpole books. You know, I've not read the books from that. Ross, I'm sure you did.
I,
You're not supposed to
I signed up
laugh.
to
It
do
makes it
that,
sound
and
like you didn't. It makes you sound like-
but I had to read each of his books probably 3 or 4 times, and that's the reason for the chuckle.
Okay. I was gonna say it was beginning to sound like you hadn't read them. I was gonna be like, Ross,
I've read Andy. I've read them.
have you really?
Y- You
See,
sound so shocked.
I'm really not, because this is why I said. Whereas I don't know that either of us is really that much into mini wargaming. Both of us, I figured, would like to read the stories. So I'm
Yeah.
actually not that shocked. But you and I both know that those were a pretty penny ago.
Yes.
We're just showing
Yeah.
our age.
No. Because I just picked up old Warhammer lore just the last couple years ago, and I really enjoyed it. Way better than the romances and smut I normally read.
So there are a ton of Warhammer lore podcast, YouTube channel things out there, and I'm gonna say something. Don't get things thrown at me. A lot of their lore is actually kind of interesting. It's a little weird some places, but it's interesting. So I think I see why everyone's so interested in the lore for Interceptor and Leviathan, because the lore can be very fun if it's done well.
Love to see I would love to see a book that is captain's tales and stories of captains and like how and why they're in each faction or something like that. Like to me, that would be a really cool anthology.
Oh. And you know that wouldn't be hard to do. I mean, we have freelance writers off and on. It could be something like, not to give out too much information on here, that we talked about doing with people who wanted to freelance for Earth Dawn, Ross, where it went behind a certain thing. On the
Mm-hmm.
giving out
I'm nodding
captain's
my head
pieces.
and agreeing.
Yeah. That's a great idea there, lady.
I try.
Yeah. You succeed.
There's
You
a
are
note.
You are the best office ogress ever. Hands
Thank
down.
you. Honestly, I just want to read it.
So Earhart wants to hand it to whoever's been doing the lore so far for Aetherstream, but different, but just uncanny in how well it captures the spirit of classic other games. So Todd, Ross, Maddie, who's the driving force between the lore so far?
Todd has been.
That'd be me.
So where's your inspiration?
We need a whole other podcast for that.
Don't say that, Andy will sign you up.
I will.
We can do that. Todd, we can
But-
totally make that happen.
Apparently, if this is every Thursday, that means 50 plus a year. 51, because we didn't have one during Gen Con. So 51 a year. So we have plenty of them, Todd. We can totally. It can be like the trains with Brad. It'd be a 10-part thing. But how about we start with just a few of your top favorite for this podcast? Top favorite places to get inspiration for Aetherstream lore, because I think that sometimes giving out that type of thing helps people to for what they want to look at for when they're trying to be inspired.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, it all starts, for this game with the original Renegade Legion. We couldn't copy the old IP, so we wanted something, and Ross and I had talked about it, and Dan as well. We wanted something of the same kind of scope, sweeping battle, space battles, with room for individual tales within that. So that's where we started, and then of course I take a lot of inspiration, like for Interceptor. I watch a lot of old World War II fighter movies, and a big IP some people call Star Wars.
What is
Things
this
like that.
War of
Old games.
Stars?
Yeah, old
We can
computer games such as Wing Commander, and so just draw inspiration and stuff, from wherever we can.
Well, those are a lot of things I like. So those would be good places to look for inspiration for if you were designing a scenario.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And I know we're going to be probably working on more scenarios. Are we working on more scenarios, Todd?
We are. We're working on a whole lot of ideas. But we have to finish the book first. We're almost there.
So I hear Ross is going to tie you up, chain you up to a desk, and never let you leave it. Is that also true?
It comes with a paycheck, sure.
You're so funny, Todd. Oh. All right, lady. What's your
Yep.
favorite book, movie, whatever, inspiration for sci-fi?
Well, gosh, that's an amazingly difficult question for me.
Isn't it?
I was just I I was just thinking as Todd was talking about all of his stuff, I was going back to like Barbarella and Battle Before the Stars and old original Battlestar Galactica, and
Okay, what
I
was the
thought it would be
first thing
really
you listed?
cool. Barbarella.
I thought so. I love you so much.
Sorry.
I love you
I
so
was
much.
just thinking about how
No. I love Barbarella. I know that it is cheesy.
so cheesy. It's like Zardoz cheesy. It's so
Right?
perfect. You
It's so
have
fun.
had gold. I can't anyway, but I was thinking how cool it would be to cobble together like different ships from different factions and run a whole pirate mercenary thing, and the goal would be like building your I don't know. My brain is just going off on all kinds of tangents about stuff.
You want me to get the models and then we'll play Traveler? Because we can totally do that in Traveler.
I think that would be hilarious.
How about you, Ross? Where are you getting your... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, me, as a war game widow, my husband's all about like do the battles, kill the thing. I'm like, how can I get from point A to point B and make it a cool story? Or I don't know, role
Just
playing
difference in
person.
play type. So,
Exactly.
Ross, where do you get your sci-fi, inspiration from?
I've read an awful lot of books, but as far as gaming goes, the first role-playing game I played wasn't D&D; it was Traveler, and Traveler, of course, is the seed that blossomed into FASA. So the things that you could do in Traveler are things that I hope that we'll eventually be able to do in Etherstream. And what person among us doesn't want to or wishes that they could sit in a cockpit and fight against one another?
Well, getting blown up in space is bad, so I actually would rather not do that. I like the idea of pretend.
You forgot that we created a way to do that with the VWE. I've read most major science fiction stories that have been published since before all of us were born. And again, like Lady Styx, it's hard to choose one. And they all come together to form to answer the question, well, what do I want it to be like? And you pick and choose the highlights from all of your sources. But hopping in your fighter squadron, being the captain on the deck of a capital ship, those are those are things that we've seen in the movies, as Todd has pointed out, that we want to be able to do ourselves, and our games to do a platform to do that sort of thing.
So let's see. Well, what about you, Maddie? What's your big sci-fi inspiration types?
If it's got star in the name, I enjoy it.
No,
We don't have
I
to
mean,
be afraid to say it. We don't have to be afraid to say it.
look. I love Star
I
Wars.
don't.
I
Yeah,
run Star Wars.
I was absolutely not talking about Star Wars. In fact, Star Wars is my least favorite of the star
Really?
titled things.
So
Really,
what's your
You're
favorite?
forgetting about the other one.
well,
See, I love the
Todd
other one, but I like
asked
the
me
old
for some
school other one.
ideas. I agree. The other one stopped being made in like 2004.
When I mean
And
the other one, I mean
that's
like
where it ended.
old Star Trek. I mean original Shatner Star Trek. Like
2004 was ages ago.
Andy admitted you like the animated one best.
no,
It
I
was
actually like
good.
original Shatner, and I like the camaraderie, and I like the cowboys in space feel. I like the blow it up, have carnal relations for it, maybe both. I love that original Trek. I grew up on
As
it.
do I.
I love it. I actually did not care. A lot of people love Next Gen, and it is one of my absolute least favorites. It was just too prime directive, politically, like, we're gonna talk it out and have a no, blow them up and move on. Somebody go and make carnal relations with the alien and then blow some things up and let's cowboys in space. I'm not a good
Can I
human.
just
You are a good human. You just have a very distinct set of skills and you know how to use them as
Right.
a GM.
Hey, okay, so Lady Styx knows how I rate movies, and actually that explains a lot of my problems, probably. I look for nudity, gore, and explosions. Like that's what I like.
And dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs. Well, I mean that trumps like everything, right? Dinosaurs. Matter of fact, somebody made a comment that the only thing that would make Aether Stream better were if there were dinosaurs, and I don't know how to get that. Like, I don't know how to talk Todd into putting dinosaurs in, but you know,
You don't have to talk me into it.
when are we getting dinosaurs in
That's
space?
the point.
Who doesn't like
Somewhere on some planet, there will be a dinosaur-like creature, or maybe a whole planet full of them. You don't have to talk me into it.
Oh, all right. Anybody else on here have a favorite sci-fi work that they find inspiring? Maybe to help them come up with things? To Scranks in Space? Heck yes, thank you, Mr. Pink. I mean, just saying, Todd. Eventually, some faction shows up. Dune is one of my favorites. I mean, does it get any more epic sci-fi than Dune?
Only if we can do the stuff like, when he got like crazy, like at book 5 or book 6, and the stuff just got really weird.
I will say that I am aware of this, but I don't know that I liked some of the later stuff, and I'm also not sure I like the stuff that his son's written. Don't throw things at
I
me.
only read a couple of those newer ones, but
I don't think they have
no,
the
I
same
know what
feel.
you're saying about Dune, yeah.
Dire Sith Lord put in Starship Troopers. Yes.
Oh, Starship Troopers is so fun. It would be like the bug monsters in why am I forgetting the name of them?
I have
Invites?
no idea.
It's in Earth Dawn. There's and actually in Shadowrun too. There are these
And
bug. Sorry, go ahead. Invade, yes.
Invade.
So we could have Tiskrings in space, and we could have Inve.
Oh my gosh. Earhart put in Hammer Slammers. I haven't seen that one in so long.
Oh.
Oh, I got to pull that one up. See, now you guys are giving me plans for my weekend. I was not even aware I had.
Oh. Old school stick like sci-fi all weekend.
I thought I was going to do disaster movies, but I bet you I could talk my husband into a weekend-long date if I threw on the right sci-fi.
Is there much better in life than that? Flash
Not if
Gordon.
there's not if there's enough popcorn.
There's always popcorn's wonderful and cheap. There's always popcorn. Flash Gordon, yeah.
Especially if it's the old black and white.
Is there? Oh, I guess there was a color
I'm
70s one.
I'm a
Isn't there?
huge fan of the '80s cheesy movie. That's my
Well,
favorite movie.
you
My
can't,
guilty pleasure.
Todd, you can't beat that soundtrack. I mean, it's Queen.
Exactly.
I'm gonna sit here and laugh for a moment. You know what? That's your weekend though. Barbarella and Flash Gordon, right there. Best weekend. Double feature.
That sounds like a good weekend, actually.
It does. I wasn't being. I meant it actually.
You gotta throw in
Spaceballs.
Stardust, and there's Spaceballs is I don't know. I love it, but the humor, I don't know, gets to me sometimes. There's one that was done that had Molly Ringwald in it. I cannot for the name of me remember what it was called. That is really high on the cheese factor too.
Oh, I just watched it like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like coming to my brain.
But it's kind of more like dystopian, I guess, than space.
Space Hunter.
Yes.
Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Yes.
Yes.
Success. Cherry 2000. Oh, I love Cherry 2000, but it's not. I don't know that I consider that a sci-fi. I mean, it's in the future, but I don't know that. I don't know that it has the right feel for this. To me.
It's where it gets hard because there's so many good movies, and I mean, yeah, I mean,
Ice Pirates. Oh my gosh, Todd.
yes, Ice Pirates is good.
It is one of
Definitely falls into that 80s weekend movie.
I loved Ice Pirates. I'm such a nerd. I don't know what to tell you. Really want great
Legend of Galactic Heroes. Is that a European or an Aussie release, or
I don't know that one.
where is that
Anime.
Oh, and I see if you're getting into anime, that's a whole nother thing.
But there is a lot of sci-fi space stuff in anime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, anime has got some great sci-fi.
Yeah.
What you Americans unfortunately know as Star Blazers was really good, but watch the remake because it's so much better.
So Tenchi is a yes, but
okay,
no, but no, but yes. I love Tenchi, but and I know that the Cabot is also a spaceship and things like that, but I don't know that I
So
would
knowing
totally sci-fi
so
that
Andy,
one.
here's the question.
Yeah, boss.
Ruling out the stars, so Star Wars and Star Trek, right?
Mhm.
I would like movie suggestions that have great space fighting scenes because I find as someone who when I do tabletop, I like to this is really sad, but I like to pre-watch ahead battles because I really often steal strategies for what I've seen. So does anybody have any good recommendations for any of those for a movie?
That is a
Legend.
good
It's
question.
not a movie, although there are movies, but watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes because it is super. It's strategic level. It's not tactical level.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, Space Above and Beyond. That's a good one.
Oh yes, very much.
The Last Starfighter? I don't know that. That's somebody.
That's
No, but that
back in your
yes,
80s.
but no, but yes, it definitely falls under the 80s weekend, like date weekend movies.
I don't think it
does
had.
have space battle.
It
It
does.
does, but not really. It's
Not.
more, yeah.
However, it 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 fits our movie theme here.
Somebody did a game about that one.
They did. Who is that?
Oh, I have that one. Yeah.
Who made it?
You're gonna make me go upstairs and
No,
dig it
we'll
out
look
of
late. You can look later.
Come on, Andy.
out of the library.
I'm messing with Ross. I'm seeing how long till his head explodes. It's okay.
Babylon 5, yes.
No, I'm just trying to know. I'm trying to recall if my names are on the credits or not.
So Todd Zurcher says Babylon 5, and I totally agree. We watched that.
I love
My
Babylon
husband and I
5.
watched that often. Space 1999, yes. Red Dwarf, yes, but no,
Red
but yes.
Dwarf. Red Dwarf doesn't really have like space battles, but who doesn't like Red Dwarf? Like Red Dwarf is that wonderful space sci-fi comedy film.
Space like wait. Red Dwarf is space sci-fi like Doctor Who is space sci-fi. Yes, but no, but yes.
It's more than that because it's actually a comedy. So
no, I know.
So it's but Lex is and does have some space battles to it, but has some interesting themes. Actually, I like the first 2 seasons of Lex. The other 2 seasons aren't as bad, but can you have too many puppets?
Loved Farscape. Adore it.
I like Farscape too. Never enough puppets, unless you're watching a old Meet the Feebles movie.
But wait,
and then
it's technically they're not puppets. They're puppets all been produced, so therefore it's better than puppets.
All I'm saying is that you can never have enough puppets unless you hit Meet the Feebles, and then it was too far, too far.
So
and,
Earhart,
not unseeable.
Yeah. So Earhart, I started The Expanse. Should I go back and but then life interrupted. Should I go back and rewatch?
I would say, from what I've been told, yes.
I first started it and I quit after a couple episodes. Once it went to I think Prime, and they picked it up, and I started over again, and I ran it all the way through.
Cool.
Yeah, apparently both you and Todd should restart that one and watch it all the way through. Apparently it was very good. There are books. Yes. Now I might be willing to go back and read books. I need to do more reading. I'm not sure when I have time, but
because people love sci-fi.
I think they do. All right, we are getting close to 10 minutes out. So if anybody has any last minute questions, let's start making sure we hit those so that we don't miss any.
Oh, I haven't even looked on Kickstarter. Have we hit any really cool bonuses or close to cool bonuses, so people should come and sign on?
I know we hit one major one, Todd.
Yeah, but we're not holding our breath because of past performance.
Ross, I'm going to make you put on the Eeyore hat.
That's the way it goes. But no, we're at what, 51 plus right now? Means we crossed the threshold barrier. Let's just hope we don't drop below it. I don't think we will, but never say never.
Thank you, Maddie.
The next things that our backers will see will be hallelujahs when Todd finishes writing down the last word, and we send it all off to edit. On the 26th of August, we're supposed to get factory pre-production samples for the remaining 10 ships in their boxes in their injection molded glory. We will, of course, be taking pictures and showing those off as soon as we get our hands on them. Depending on the timing of the completion of the book, that will dictate the completion of the Academy set. And once the Academy set is finished, everything will be shipped from China to the US, and we can start the clock on how quickly we will be able to fulfill it. The campaign says that we will deliver everything in Leviathan in March. I'm pretty confident that we will be delivering much earlier than that. How much more early, how much earlier, I can't say at the moment, but updates will keep all of you guys informed. Things are looking good. And then, as soon as Todd recovers, it's on to the next product.
So about that chain to your
So that's
desk there,
what
Todd.
I know as far as the campaign. Well, it's that corollary that goes along with it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
Believe me, I'm listening, but
Maddie had wanted to know about stats for bulk carriers in VLCA. And Todd, you said you could probably, do we have bulk carriers? Is this something we're going to be coming
do.
out with?
we do. We call it the special goods carrier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how do they work? Because I'm going to guess they're not as heavily gunned, right?
Probably not at all. They are probably what we would call campaign objectives.
Oh.
Either
so
to
like you'd be
defend
protecting it or trying to take it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's space truckers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds. It's the caravan route. Like it's go steal the caravan, protect the caravan. I got this.
Yep.
Space station thoughts modules, so you can 1 to 7 hex space stations. Convoy in space. See, in space. All right. We have just a few minutes left. Any other questions? So that nobody got missed in their questions.
I don't see
I'm not
any.
seeing any, but Todd is typing instead of talking, so I'm curious to see what Todd is typing. Smokey and the Bandit in space. Heck yeah. Bulk good carriers and a bolt. You know what? Yeah, I can see that. I like it.
Still need pirates.
We always need pirates. Who doesn't need pirates?
Gotta have pirates. We gotta have pirates. They're out there somewhere.
You know what, Todd? That's gonna be your side job goal. Space Red Baron,
Space Red
yeah.
Baron.
Is to come up with a
Nice.
quote unquote pirate scenario. Pirate scenario.
Yeah, it'll be all those guys from the ships where the captains made the morale break.
They all ran away, and now they're space pirates. Pizza delivery in space. That could be, I guess, a run.
That's Space Hunter.
Space Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys right. You guys are riot. Flying saucer for the pizza delivery flying sauce. Never. I thought it was funny. All right.
Well,
Triplanetary
Andy.
solar system tour.
Wasn't that
Oh,
what was that one? Movie Lulu, Multipass, Super Green. Oh my
Fifth
gosh,
Element.
I remember. Thank you, Fifth Element.
Oh, you guys are crazy. I think with that, we're going to start our goodbyes. Maddie, Todd, Ross, you guys want to say goodbye?
Goodbye. Thanks for listening. Thanks for backing our campaign.
Yep, thank you, everybody. It's great talking to you all again, and hopefully we'll be talking again soon.
Oh, I'm sure I'll make you come back on sooner than you'd like, Todd. I'd like to thank everybody for being out here. I'd like to thank everybody for backing the Kickstarter. Miss Styx.
I think I'm going to say thank you because I have definite plans for this weekend and some fantastic sci-fi movies. Cannot wait to
Like, best movie
this
list
on
ever.
best movie list ever. And I can't wait to see the pre-release stuff as it comes in and help work on getting stuff out to everybody. And yeah, definitely looking forward to lore.
Me too. I think I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to stop this recording so we can post it. Good night, everybody.